to my channel and to another video. I'm so glad that you are here. So I wanted to take you through today some of like the wellness things that I do. I suppose some of them are trends. I've been doing some for a long time, some are quite new, some are quite recent. And also just like update you can see a little bit in the background and you've seen a little bit there at the start of the video. But obviously if you watch the home gym like build, we had the sauna in the gym originally and then we moved it out just for space, which I'm really glad we did. Definitely was the right decision. And I was like, where are we going to put the sauna? It's huge. I wanted to put it in the utility room and it was just too tight, didn't really fit. I'd also just bought these lovely like eras like to go on the wall, like clothes eras, and I was like, no, it's gonna ruin my like utility room, like it's all done, blah blah blah. So the only place where I could really fit it was in my office, and it did seem like the best place for it to go because like it is a big room and I don't need all the space. And it was kind of just like dead space. So we did have a sofa bed in here, and then when we decorated it, we'd sold it because it was really old. And then I'd seen, I wish I knew the creator's name, but I'd seen a creator on TikTok had created like a wellness nook. So I started like just searching on like Pinterest and like TikTok and things like that, like sauna inside. Like I feel like once I can visualize it in my head, I'm like happy with it, can get on board with it. But yeah, this creator had made a wellness nook in a house, and I was like, actually that'd be really good. Like one half of the office is like my wellnessy stuff, and then obviously my office. So I've actually changed the office around, which I'll show you. I don't know if you will have seen inside my office before, but if I've ever like done a tour. But anyway, I will show you guys, but want to show you the little wellness nook. So it's not the same as what the girl had done, but it just kind of got my creative juices flowing. We actually had a voucher as well for from Christmas, so I was able to use that to get like a little beanbag chair and stuff. So I'm going to show you what I've done with the room basically. So I know you've seen a little bit at the start, guys, but this is just my little wellness nook. So this is the beanbag chair that I was saying we got from with a Christmas voucher, and I also got the matching little stool. I've just put the footstool there next to my desk, but then I do like sit on there. So if I'm feeling a bit stressed out, I'll go and sit and do some breath work on there. Sometimes I just sit on there and make some content, and then I've got my little mini red light wall, and then I keep like my acupuncture mat in the corner there, which I'm going to go through all of that with you, and then let me show you the office. Okay, and this is my office side, guys. So my desk actually used to be facing the window, and then I've moved it to there, which is actually a bit better because then you can't see the wires anymore. So I've got my little work phone there on the desk, my little tea, I was doing some work. And then I've just kept this glass table. I don't really have anywhere else for it, but I feel like it looks quite nice there. Like I said, it's quite a big, long room, this, to fill. All my books up there. And then this was the old light from my dressing room. And then I did the paint myself. It was a DIY lime wash job. Happy with how this has turned out. And you guys back around there. Sorry, I don't know why I just showed you the door into the living room. So my office is, that's the living room there. So yeah, that is everything. And as I said, I wanted to kind of go through like some wellness things that I do, because obviously, you know, your training, your movement, even just like walking daily, your nutrition, they are the foundations, they are the groundwork type thing. But there's lots of other layers to your health and your well-being, especially when it comes to stress management and things like that. And these are some of the things that I do that help me to relax, unwind, take a pause, and like I say, just to manage stress. I get very stressed out. That's my biggest trigger for inflammation, for like an endo flare up for me. And just that doesn't make us feel good. Like it really sets obviously my mindset just goes to a really awful place, and it's quite hard for us to come down. Whereas if I just take a minute to pause, it really does help. So that was kind of the idea of the wellness nook as well. I've got that little beanbag to just like give myself a timeout essentially. Like I think sometimes when you become an adult, you have to actually start to treat yourself like a child, like put yourself to bed, like get up around the same time, like do all these things, and like kind of like treat yourself like a kid. And that is another one as well, that your sleep is so important for your physical well-being, your mental well-being, and you know, that is one of the foundations to be nailing before even thinking, I would say, about including some of these things like your nutrition, your training and movement, and your sleep. and all that sort of stuff. Nothing comes above the foundations, like I say. But I'm going to start anyway. I'm going to actually sit down. I don't know why I'm standing up. I'm going to start talking about the sauna, since that was the first thing that I showed you guys. Just sat down there at the desk. But yes, so one thing that I really love doing, and I did before I even had the sauna in the house, which was part of the reason why I got it, is having a sauna. So I actually used to have, I don't know if I ever showed it in some of my older videos, but I had one from Amazon where you sit in it. It's like a little camp chair, like folds out, and then you sit like in and zip it up, and it comes like, so your head's popping out. Me and Ashley used to have one when we had the gym, and it was just the best thing ever. And then I got one for home. So actually only just like got rid of that when I got this one. But again, I think it was like 150 quid or something from Amazon. So not like cheap. But I do think worth it for a cheaper option, or if your gym has one, then definitely would recommend trying to go a couple of times a week. Really good for cardiovascular health, for lowering cortisol, reducing inflammation, for like muscle soreness and recovery. And I really find as well, like for me, because like your ovaries likes heat, like, and when I've got really bad like endo flare up, that heat is something that really helps me. So I found the sauna as well as being beneficial for that. So yeah, just love the feeling of being in the sauna. And you might have noticed on the video as well, it has the different like light therapy settings on there as well. So another thing that I was gonna talk about as well is like the red light mask and stuff. And obviously I mentioned my little red light wall. Again, really beneficial. I've definitely noticed the difference of that. So I've had a red light mask for a while, and I do, and you might have seen it in some of my other videos, I do try and use like the different colours each day. I was really only just doing like red light, but I'll try and use like a different colour each day, as they all have like different benefits for like your skin and things like that. And then obviously I use it in the sauna. I think I mostly have so far only used the red light in there. But yeah, lots of health benefits again with that. But I've definitely noticed that with my skin, with just improving that by using the red light. So that kind of like combines the two, but I also do have a red light. Let me grab it and show you. So I have that down here. So I just have this one from Project E that I've used for ages. I had that older one, and then they very kindly sent me the newer one. I did pay for the older one when I had that originally. So I normally put this on in the morning. Also as well, if I'm doing like my meditation on my acupuncture mat. I'm jumping ahead to all of these, but sometimes I'll put it on with that as well. So yeah, the red light, this actually tells you what the different lights do, so I don't tell you the incorrect thing, guys. Let me have a little look. The book's a little bit battered. Let me see. Right, okay. So deep infrared red light therapy. No, deep infrared light therapy. Oh my god. Can't read. So it can help with like wrinkles and deep skin renewal. Then the red light reduces fine lines and wrinkles. Apparently, I mean, I don't know if I've necessarily noticed that. Like, being totally transparent with you guys, I get a little bit of Botox in my head, but I don't get anywhere else. So who knows what it is, but I feel all wellnessy when I use it anyway. Then there's the blue light therapy, which destroys acne cause, oh my god, I cannot read today, destroys acne causing bacteria, prevents breakouts and regulates oil production. Green light therapy fades dark spots, combats oh my god, I knew I was going to fluff that up, hyperpigmentation, and balances skin tone. Purple light therapy combines blue and red to target uneven skin tone and inflammation. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this. Cyan, basically the pink one. Reduces redness, swollen capillaries, acne and inflammation. Yellow light calms sensitive skin, reduces redness and removes toxins from the skin. And then white light is a powerful combination of light, improves overall skin health for total rejuvenation. So there you go, guys. That is in the little booklet there. So that's the same colours that are in the sauna as well as my red light. Again, any brand is fine. Like, you know, you don't have to use like a certain one. Just make sure you read into it before you buy anything. But again, these are pretty spenny. I do think they are worth it personally, but I think, again, with these things, I'm just sharing my personal experience and recommendations, but I'm not saying that you should go and use these, because everybody's very different. So if you do know someone, actually, is it really the best thing to say to share a red light mask with someone. Maybe not, but maybe if you go to a sauna and they have it, because my old sauna used to have it at a gym I used to go to a while ago. They had like the red light and stuff in there, so maybe even just that. I was gonna say you could like borrow someone's to give it a try, but you don't really want to be sharing someone's face stuff, so just ignore that, guys. Also, another thing I want to mention, after I have a sauna, I do just have like a quick cold shower. Now, I used to have cold showers quite a lot, and this leads on quite nicely from what I was just talking about there, because not everything is necessarily for everyone, but I used to have cold showers every morning. Me and Aaron used to go for sea dips every week, like freezing cold, and it was lovely afterwards and stuff. And it felt really like good when you were out and things, but I didn't know if I was necessarily feeling the benefits. Like maybe I was, but then I started to read stuff, and again, it's all very new, and I think it's very independent on the individual, but how it can not be so great around like certain times of your cycle, like the luteal phase and the menstrual phase. And like I said, they, you know, your ovaries like the warm and sometimes cold. So even like in your menstrual phase, it's recommended to have like warming foods to like basically warm you from the inside and help you to feel good, keep the blood flowing so that you don't get cramps. Whereas when you're cold, it can possibly increase like you're having like worse cramps, increase the likelihood, sorry, if you're having like worse cramps. So just a little bit about that. At the time of doing it, so this is a couple of years ago now, my periods were still really bad. I do feel like they're more under control now. I don't think it's necessarily just from stopping the cold. But that was just something that I kept in mind. But if you see like my one of my recent vlogs where I was at the retreat, we like went into the sea. It was obviously cold, but it was really nice to do. And I think like, you know, every so often it's not the worst thing, but I think because I was doing it quite a lot at the time, it wasn't really ideal for me personally. But after a sauna, I do have a cold shower because it feels very refreshing. Obviously closes your pores so that they're not like staying open and letting things in. But yeah, it's not like something that I do like all of the time. But again, it's very much like dependent on you. I know some people that really rate like ice baths and things like that. I actually did have an ice bath in the garden, but I sold it because I was like, yeah, I'm not using this anymore. To be honest, the upkeep of the ice bath and keeping it like tidy and clean was just, yeah, no, like a pain, a chew on for me. So I was like, nah. But anyway, yeah, like I know a lot of people really rate them and really like them. So again, it's just about trial and error and seeing what works for you. But I do like the cold after the hot, and the contrast in between the two. It's just not something that I do like all of the time. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that one about obviously when I was talking about the sauna there as well. And then I mentioned as well about my acupuncture mat. Again, I'm going to show you guys. I keep literally feel like, oh, so this again, I've had this for so long. This is the little pillow bit, and this is the mat. It's just like little spikies. I've had that for, I mean, I think it was about £15 from Amazon. I've had it for years now. Like I think about 5 years maybe. Ages. And I really rate it. So I'll do that again pretty much every day. I usually do it after my workout on a weekend. I'll do it like after I've got up and stuff. I lie on that. I do my breathwork meditation. So I use meditations on my Energize coaching app. I have a lovely girl called Alana who does them. She's just so good at, I just love them. I used to use Headspace. I think there's even some on here, like on YouTube, that you can use for free as well. But there's loads of good apps out there. Calm's another one as well. Like I think even just for 5 minutes, like it just makes such a difference. Like for me, it's essentially training your brain. So the same way you train your body, I think it's really important to train your mind and just have that minute of like pause and calm. And that's something that I really need. I'm very go, go, go. Always like thinking about what I need to do next and trying to fit everything in. And I think the busy lifestyles that we all lead, we're all a little bit guilty of that. So it's just about having like that sort of 5-10 minutes to slow down and just take a breath, literally. I also, when I was mentioned there before that if I feel stressed, I'll either put on a short meditation or I'll do 3 deep breaths. So in through the nose, out through the mouth, big belly breaths, because that activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which basically takes you out of the fight or flight and helps you to calm down, essentially, in the simplest of terms. And then the other thing that I like to do as well is box breathing. So I sometimes do that like after a meditation and or doing it through the day. So you breathe in for 4, hold for 4 at the top,
breathe out for 4, hold for 4 at the bottom. Do at least 5. But you could just do that for a couple of minutes. Just set like a timer with probably a nice like calm and soothing alarm to bring you out of it. But even just something like that would be really beneficial. Just to take a few minutes, or like getting you used to doing like breath works and like meditation and stuff. So I just like to combine the two, like essentially killing 2 birds with 1 stone by lying on the mat. Do that at the start of the day. It would be something that would be really good to do at the end of the day as well, to like help you to relax and decompress. But I would really like to try like actual acupuncture. I've heard it's supposed to be really good for endometriosis as well, so I am gonna look into that. But I call that the spike mat, but that's what it's an acupuncture mat. So yeah, definitely again really rate that. That's really like cost effective. And breath work, again, you don't have to be using the acupuncture mat for that. You could just sit on the floor, lie on your bed. I quite like to be laid down for it more than I do sat up, so I can relax. I sometimes do it in the sauna as well, to be fair. Like just taking a moment to breathe. And another good tip, which I don't know if I've shared this before on here, but basically if you're feeling stressed, especially before you eat, it can really like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like affect the way that your body digests food in like a negative way, and how people can often end up being like bloated because again your body's in that fight or flight state. If you just take 3 deep breaths before eating and sit and like make sure you chew your food, like counting to even just 10, but if you can chew your food for like 20-30 times, like each mouthful, it'll just help your body to digest your food better. It can help to reduce bloating and things like that. Just having that little bit of like mindfulness in your day can make a big difference. So even that can go a long way. Just like 3 deep breaths before you eat, and then sit and chewing your food for like 20-30 times for each mouthful, and just even putting your knife and fork down between each, or spoon, like between each mouthful, is a really good way even just to practice mindfulness and to just slow down. Also realize that I forgot to mention the benefits of, so it's actually an acupressure mat, sorry, not an acupuncture mat. I was saying the wrong thing. It's good for stress reduction and relaxation, muscle tension, any like pain relief. So it increases like local blood flow and relaxes tight muscles, kind of like a low level massage basically. Improved circulation. So the pressure from the spikes basically increases the blood flow in that area. And some small studies have showed that it can lower heart rate and improve circulation. So again, a small study, but there's some research there, and obviously just like a bit of an endorphin release, as it stimulates the nerve endings, which can release endorphins, which are a natural painkiller, and it can also help to improve mood, reduce discomfort, and help with sleep support as well. So a few benefits with that. Again, it's not something that you have to do. It's something that I've done for years. I really enjoy it. I actually quite like the spiky feeling. And yeah, I'm all for these, like, I don't say they're woo-woo, they're not woo-woo things, like they are backed by science, but I love all of this kind of wellness stuff too. And obviously, as I mentioned about like meditation and breath work is really good for nervous system regulation. So it takes you out of that fight or flight and into your rest and digest, so your body feels safe, feels calm. It can lower things like anxiety, reduces that cortisol hormone, so reduces inflammation. Lots of benefits for it, and like I say, it can just make you feel a lot clearer in your mind. And again, just to mention, especially for us as women, like around the luteal and the menstrual phases, we can often find that our mood is not as great, especially if you suffer from PMDD or like really bad PMS. It's something that can help keep you feeling a bit like clearer and more level-headed around this time of your cycle. I'm currently cycle day 23. So I'm in the luteal phase, and I was kind of feeling that little bit of like agitated feeling earlier, and I just sat and took 3 deep breaths, and then I was like, okay, actually it's fine, it's okay. So just little things like that, even if it is like a bit of a placebo effect. Now there is, as I say, science to back this stuff, but even if it is a bit of a placebo, just help you like be, or like feel a bit calmer and more in control. definitely worth giving the breath work or the deep breaths a try. And last but not least, one thing that I have actually been doing for a while with just my tummy area, but I've been starting to do more recently, and I will show you what I do, is lymphatic drainage. I do want to go for a proper massage for this. Someone in my area I've just noticed has started doing it, so was waiting till I was okay post-op, which I am now, so I just actually need to book that in. And then also just like doing some little hops, little calf raises after, just to get everything flowing around. Now, I'm just going to refer back to the notes that I made for this video, guys, to make sure I tell you all the right stuff. But basically, the lymphatic drainage helps to reduce fluid retention, so any bloatedness or puffiness, moves waste and excess fluid out of tissues, can reduce that heavy legs feeling, and primes the system for better flow. Now, again, it's not like a fix all. Like if your nutrition's not on point, if you're overtraining, if you're not sleeping well, lymphatic drainage is not going to cure your bloating and inflammation. It's just a nice addition to those things. Like I say, making sure that your groundwork is and your foundations are in place is absolutely key. And then doing that, and then just some little like rebounds, a little like calf raises, like if you've got a mini trampoline or your kids do, it'd be quite good to do like the rebound. And I used to have one years ago. Actually, I just got rid of that last year when I left the gym, because it's just quite bulky to store at home. But yeah, like even that would be quite good, just little hops or little calf raises. So your calves essentially act as the second heart. So when you move, muscle contractions push lymph fluid upwards, so it can enhance circulation. So after you've done the lymphatic drainage, little light massage, and it's not supposed to be hard neither when you're doing it on yourself, it can just help to get things circulating. So the combined benefits is that you've got better fluid movement, so just kind of feel like a little bit flushed out, not so bloated. You might notice a difference in that when you do this more regularly, and just feeling like less puffy, and also can help with like improved recovery and circulation as well. And then also again can help to give your nervous system a boost to have that calming parasympathetic nervous system switched on, so making you feel good from the inside out. So again, there's just like a little 2-minute routine that I do. I do it on a morning once I get up. Sometimes when I'm like brushing my teeth or waiting for the kettle to boil, I might just do some little calf raises and just start to get things moving. After you've been laid down, you've been horizontal, like everything's been very like stagnant, so it's just getting everything moving again and feeling good to start the day. So that like little things where you can include it in like that can be really beneficial without it feeling really overwhelming. But let me show you guys what I do. So I will just take my hoodie off for this. I've just got a little soft bra underneath so you can see what I'm doing. But the lymphatic drainage, you can do this either you want to do it like 10 to 15 times on each part. So you want to go above and below your collarbone with your 2 fingers, and then you're just gonna swoop 10 to 15 times. Again, this just wants to be really gentle, really light, like you're not trying to dig in. You just try to do it nice and soft as it's right at the top of your skin. And then you're just going to tap again 10 to 15 times, and then repeat on the other side. So like I say, same again, nice and gentle, nice and light. It's very hard to speak and count, so I don't know what I'm doing here, but as I say, 10 to 15 times, and then a little tap. And then you want to use your fingers again and lock around your ears, like so, if you can see. And then you're just going to do little circles. Again, 10 to 15 times. Just like moving your ears. And then just tap your neck 10 to 15 times. And then we're going to go to the armpits. So you kind of want to like, in your armpits, you could do it one at a time if you wanted to, or do it both together. And you kind of just want to like squeeze. You almost like pumping up into your armpit area, and then like I say, 10 to 15 times there, just like a little pump. And then here I'll just take my joggers down a little bit further. You're going to do your stomach area, so one just above your belly button, one kind of like below, and then again just do that little pumping motion there 10 to 15 times.
And then if you want to, you can just do a little bit of this 10 to 15 times. Now, I do on my acupuncture mat, before I meditate, I do like a full tummy one, which I will show you after. I'll just show you standing up though. And then you want to go to your groin, and then just again, that small little pumping 10 to 15 times. And then you can do the same here, just a light gentle little rub there. And then last but not least, not forgetting, behind your knees. Let me move you guys down so you can see. Behind your knees, and just doing that pumping motion. There. Again, 10 to 15 times. And then after you've done this, you don't have to, but you can just do some little calf raises. Again, just do like them really quickly like this, so you can just move your body around, just get everything flowing and circulating and moving again, just getting your body moving when you get up. But even if that feels too much, just do like 20 to 30, but if you can, do 50. So just some little calf raises, get everything moving and circulating. And then, as I mentioned, I do normally do this lying down, and I'll use like a little bit of oil. I've been doing a little bit of bio oil lately for my scars, but I use jojoba oil. Any kind of light oil that you like, just helps with like moving around. But you want to do that like little pumping motion, and also doing it down here as well. So just doing that pumping motion 10 to 15 times first, and then in the upper stomach, like I say. And then you want to kind of push down on each side. Again, just 10 times each side. You could do 15 if you wanted to. So you kind of like pushing round and down. So it's actually quite hard to do because I'm so used to doing it with oil. It'll feel a lot smoother if you do it with a little bit of oil. So you can even do it before you got in the shower. You can do this at the end of the day on your stomach. But like that little quick full body one I showed you, you could do it once you get up, like before you get ready or whatever for the day. Whereas the stomach one might be a one that if you've got a bit more time. So anyway, like I say, you go on each side, and then you're gonna take your hands nice and flat like this, and you're gonna push down. So just kind of like massaging your tummy. So just like pushing in and then pushing down, right down. So again, 10 to 15 times. Then you're gonna do circular motions clockwise. So same again, just helps with digestion as well, giving you a little tummy rub. If you feel like your tummy's not feeling great, having a little tummy rub can really help. And then just to finish off, if you want to, making like this kind of shape with your knuckles and just going down from top to bottom again, like 10 times each side, and just really getting in there. I'm just giving your tummy a little bit of a massage. That was quite a quick demo, guys, but I just wanted to show you that because that's again been something that I've done for ages, like the tummy one, and then I've just started incorporating like the full body one, and yeah, I really rate it. So let me know if you do end up trying that. That's like quite a nice quick one that you can include in, doesn't cost anything, and then if you did fancy it, you could also get like a proper lymphatic massage as well from someone else, which would feel much nicer than doing it on yourself. I was going to say that's it, but actually sometimes what I do after I've lay on my little acupressure mat, I'll lie with my legs straight up against the wall again. That can just help with circulation and stuff. Not something that I always do, but I'll just like lie with my legs like up against the wall. It can help with that. If you find you're feeling like a little bit like, again, like bloated, bit puffy, water retention, it can sometimes help with that. But that's everything, basically, like my little wellnessy thing. I think it is anyway. But I just want to share these with you guys. I don't really talk about it too often. And again, I'm always like worried that I'm promoting the wrong thing, because again, these things are backed by science and stuff, but they're not a fix, like a quick fix or anything like that. Like I say, I really can't stress it enough that if you're not nailing the foundations, you're not going to feel the benefit of these other things. Or you might slightly, but you're not going to feel the full benefit. Your nutrition and your training, or like your movement, like I say, are the groundwork. Obviously making sure you drink enough water, getting enough sleep, those things make a big difference as well. And then adding in some of these things. And if you're feeling a bit like this is sort of overwhelming, pick one and see if it works for you, and then add in another if you wanted to. And again, you don't have to do these things at all. I just wanted to share them and the benefits of them with you guys, and just like what I've found helpful.
But if you do have any other questions, please just, or any questions on this, please just pop them below. Be more than happy to like answer them, and I'll pop some details of some of the stuff that I've got. But if you'd like links for any of the stuff, I'm more than happy to put them in. The sauna was gifted, which I've mentioned in another video. Very grateful for that. So just being, again, fully transparent with you guys, and same as I mentioned about the mask, but everything else I have paid for myself. Actually, I've just realised I didn't show you my little red light wall. Oh my goodness, guys, my little, that's a little wall, little teeny one. So this is it here. So this is from Loombox. So this was actually gifted. That's why it popped into my head. Just quite recently as well. Again, very grateful. But this is something that I would find the benefit of because I'd already been using the red light mask and the sauna and stuff like that. So this I've actually been using on my finger that's broken, and hopefully help the nail grow back. I'm like, please, like do some magic voodoo on that. But again, really good for your skin. I also actually hold it up above like my lower stomach area, like where my scars and stuff are. With that as well. But that was kind of part of the red light mask bit, but I just forgot the red light part that I mentioned earlier when I was on about my mask and the sauna and stuff. I just forgot to show you guys that. But yeah, like I say, everything else was bought for and paid for by me. But even just trying some of the free things, I think definitely like the breathwork one is so beneficial, and the little lymphatic massage that you can do on yourself, and just the little calf raises make a really big difference. So let me know if you do try them and what you think. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. A little bit different, but want to share with you guys. And yeah, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.